동에 도민이 왔네. 내가 지금 내가 실로 지금 나와 30분 동안 레스트레스 필링 왜 내가 Quando vai? Spiegati dare. Pucci nei vai dare. Allora. Spiega. Doctor just open na. Mikala jogona.
Good morning, doctor. Good morning. Have a seat. Now, what seems to be the problem?
I have been experiencing some discomfort in my stomach and I came to visit you, doctor.
Let me see. I see. You seem to have been infected with Enterobius parasite. Do you know what it is?
No, I don't know what is it.
Enterobius parasite, it's a type of parasitic worm which infects your stomach and also causes stomachache and pain around the anal area. Now, it's very treatable with medicines and you can also prevent it by maintaining a good personal hygiene like washing your hands, wearing good clothes. Now, I'm going to give you some medicine which will help, hopefully help treat the parasite. Now, before you take the medicine, let me tell you about Enterobius parasite in detail. Hello everyone. Today we will be talking about Enterobius parasite, how it is formed, how it is spread, its symptoms, and how it can be treated. Now, to begin with, what is Enterobius parasite? Enterobius parasite is a type of parasite found in the intestines of the human body. It is often very common in children and sometimes in adults. Now, the early signs of symptoms of Enterobius includes weight loss, the infection of the anal area due to constant scratching, and appetite loss and other such things. It is often prevalent in night due to the constant scratching and unknown scratching of the area. Now, how it is spread? Enterobius is often spread through physical contact. Now, if you maintain improper hygiene and such, it is often spread through hand contact and unknowingly children also swallow it when they maintain contact with each other. Now, how it can be treated? Enterobius can be treated. It is treated by having several anthelmintic drugs such as albendazole and melbendazole. Now, one very important thing to note is that though it can kill the parasites, it does not kill the eggs of the parasite, because the eggs of the parasite can often take up to a week to hatching, during which the medicines could not be effective. Now, That is the treatment, but it can also be treated and prevented by maintaining a good personal hygiene, washing your hands before eating and after eating food, maintaining good personal hygiene like cleaning your clothes, washing all your clothes, the surfaces, and other such methods goes a long way in preventing enterobius parasites. Now that is the brief overpoint of what I said. Now to go in more detail, let us see a brief video about what Enterobius is.
Let us now dwell in the world of Enterobius. Enterobius vermicularis can be found all over the world. It means that it has cosmopolitan distribution. It is not limited to any single biome. Adult worms live in the cecum and vermiform appendix of humans until their egg age. They usually stay on the mucosal surface, but they can sometimes become encrusted in the submucosa. They have cylindrical bodies and cuticles with 3 layers made up of collagens and other compounds secreted by the epidermis. It protects the worm so that it can invade the digestive tract. Males are 2 to 5 mm long and 0.1 to 0.2 mm wide with a curled tail, whereas females are 8 to 13 mm long and 0.3 to 0.5 mm wide with a pointed tail. The common name pinworms refers to Enterobius vermicularis pointed or pin-shaped tail. Females are also distinguished by anterior expansion of the body wall known as elli, which resembles wings. Both sexes have 3 lips surrounding their circular mouth. Adult worms are small, wide, spindle-shaped and resemble a short piece of thread, and they are visible to naked eyes. Now let's see the life cycle of Enterobius vermicularis. Their life cycle is simple and it can be completed in a single host, which is human. Humans become infected by ingestion of embryonated eggs attached to their nails while scratching the perianal area. The eggshells are broken down by digestive juices and the larvae escape into the small intestine. They then migrate to cecum and vermiform appendix, where they develop into adult worm within 15 to 30 days of infection. Female worms may produce a pheromone that attracts male. The male worm coils around the female worm, its curved area covering the female genital pole. Males uses spicules to hold the female during copulation. The male dies right after fertilizing the female. It will only lay eggs on the perineum because air acts as a stimulant to lay eggs. The force with which eggs are ejected allows them to spread toward the perianal area. Following the oviposition, the female frequently dies. Eggs trapped in perianal folds may hatch into larvae and enters the intestine directly through the anus. This process is referred to as retroinfection. Occasionally, larvae may enter the vulva and infects women's vagina, and the entire life cycle takes approximately 2 to 3 weeks.
Enterobius vermicularis, commonly known as the human pinworm, exhibits a remarkable pathogenicity despite its small size. The parasitic nematode inflicts its harmful effects primarily within the human gastrointestinal tract, particularly the colon and rectum. Through a complex life cycle, it causes enterobiosis, a parasitic infection prevalent worldwide, especially among children. Enterobiosis is a benign intestinal disease. The epidemiology of enterobiosis or pinworm infection involves how this common parasitic infection spreads in population. Transmission typically occurs by ingestion of pinworm eggs, which are easily transferred from contaminated surfaces such as bedding, clothing, furniture, and hands. Enterobius is highly contagious and spreads through the fecal oral route. Enterobius vermicularis induces a spectrum of symptoms including anal itching, abdominal discomfort, and even secondary bacterial infections due to scratching. Further, the ability of pinworm eggs to survive outside the host contributes to its persistence and transmission within communities. Despite its seemingly innocuous appearance, the pathogenicity of Enterobius vermicularis underscores the importance of effective preventive measures and targeted treatments to mitigate its impact on public health. The prophylaxis involves several key preventive measures to minimize the risks of infection and transmission. Good personal hygiene practices such as frequent hand washing with soap and water, particularly after using the toilet and before handling food, are essential. Regular washing and changing undergarments and bed linens, along with keeping fingernails short and clean, help prevent the spread of pinworm eggs. Additionally, maintaining a clean living environment, including thorough cleaning of surfaces and toys, can reduce the risk of contamination when an individual is diagnosed with pinworm infection. Treatment of all household members and close contacts is recommended to prevent reinfection and further.
Despite being non-fatal, they can cause discomfort, lower productivity, and higher healthcare costs. Infections causes delays in regular operations in places like schools and daycare centers, which can result in staff and students' absenteeism. Furthermore, the expense of taking drugs like mebendazole or albendazole to treat pinworms can be expensive. Common effects observed in humans are high levels of itching around the anal area. This causes inflammation, skin irritation, abdominal pain, and appetite loss. Controlling enterobius infections usually require a multimodal strategy that includes pharmacological, biological, and cultural interventions. Using anthelmintic drugs such as mebendazole or albendazole, which can effectively kill adult worms and stop the spread of infection, is known as chemical control. Using the parasite's natural predators or rivals is the main strategy used in biological management of enterobius. Cultural interventions include encouraging proper hygiene practices such as routine hand washing, particularly after using the restroom and before eating, and maintaining a short, tidy fingernails. Cleaning services, clothing, and bathing thoroughly helps get rid of pinworm eggs and lessen the chance that they will spread.
Now I hope you realize what enterovirus is and can take the necessary preventive measures for it. And I also hope that you can spread awareness among this in your local community.
Okay, doctor, I'll do my best to create awareness among the people back at the community. To recollect what we have learned, Enterobius is an intestinal worm which can cause severe damage to our small intestine and abdominal part of our body. Despite it being non-fatal, it can still cause discomfort in our day-to-day activities. Therefore, let's get ourselves prevented by washing our hands and maintaining a good hygiene.